Yeah, hello, welcome to the DBMS. Today we'll be talking about our content regarding Unit 6. So, in this Unit 6, we will be talking about storage, and another will be the word regarding indexing. So, storage, uh, it is from generation to generation where storage was upgraded. In the very first generation of computers, storage was at magnetic drums and tapes, and in the second generation it is with magnetic tapes which are totally upgraded, and from third generation onwards it was towards magnetic disks. That is nothing but right now we are calling it as hard disk, and now from 4 plus onwards it is on uh, servers or cloud. So in this way it was totally upgraded towards the system. And indexing, it is nothing but a key, and why we need indexing was towards fast search. Okay, so assume college was maintaining a database. There are thousands of students in the college, and if I am going to search Lakshmi as a name, so for the last 20 years the girl named 20 or girl named Lakshmi, all those will come. It will be very difficult to search. Similarly, if I am going to search 19B0, 1A0, 565, then only one number is coming. So key, it is what we use. We call that word here as an indexing. So to give up an indexing, in order to give a rapid search, a fast search, we use indexing. So probably the primary key numbers, the row IDs, so all those aspects, they are going to work towards indexing of a database. So storage structures, it is from generation to generation, and the database was operated either on disks, either on tapes, either on hard disk, or either on cloud platforms, etc. So let us look at the theoretical part here. So why we are going to store the content on a disk? Because we can retrieve the random page. We will retrieve the content at the random page here. So that is why we are going to save it on the disk, and it is purely cheaper than the editor. Second one was, if we are going to save it on tapes, then the order will be as far as a sequential. So first we are going to call it as disk. Next we are going to call here as tapes. So tapes, they are going to provide the sequential access of data. So one after the other, data is going to be stored. One after the other, data is going to be stored on a tape. As far as disk is going to be concerned, it can be at any point. So that is the reason why we call disk as a random storage structure. But as far as tape is going to be concerned, we are going to treat this aspect as a sequential way. So either on a disk, either on a tape, we have the file organization. Either on a disk or either on a tape, we are going to have the file organization. So files, they are going to be method to arrange the records on external storage. They are going to be things which they are going to arrange the things on the external storage. So either a disk, either a tape, we call them as an external storage. And on disk, we are going to have the data, and data, it is going to be stored in files. Files, they are going to be having some records. So now we can mean a table structure here, and student ID, student name, mobile, and email. Now we are going to have record number 565, record number 566. So the items, they are going to point out to the record, or we will call them with some row IDs. The items what we are going to follow with, we call it as attributes, or we are going to call here as a column names. So column name, they are going to point out the key and which should be an unique, and this we are going to have the entire record, which we call here as a row ID. So row IDs, they are going to handle the tuples, they are selecting the rows, and columns, they are pointing out to the attributes, and it is SID, name, email, etc. So file organization, we are arranging the records on external storage, and here we do have the record ID or the row ID, which it is going to physically locate the record. In order to show where exactly the record is, there we are going to show up the row ID. And the second way of file organization was with indexing. Indexing as a data structure, where we are going to give up the search keys, here. So we get a search key with the student ID, etc. And file organization, yeah, one we are going to call it as sequential access, another we are going to call it as a random access, or we are going to call it as a direct access. So in sequential access, data is going to be stored one after the other in a sequential, and in direct access, data is going to be stored randomly. At any point of time, data is going to be stored. But in a sequential access, data will store one record after one record. So that was the advantage one with sequential, and other they do have a random. So direct access is going to have more primitives to the content. So you open your music player on your mobile, you select your song. Later on, if you don't like that song, you will pause that and move to another song which is located somewhere. So what is this operation technically called as? We call the technical operation as a direct access or a random access. Assume you selected 4 to 5 songs and you are listening one song after another song. So what we call the technique as, that is nothing but a sequential access, as simple as that. So what the real-time applications we are talking, those they are technically defined. So that juncture, that junk words you need to catch. So one we are going to call it as a sequential access, another we call it as a direct access, where file is going to be organized. So you listen your songs in one folder, you kept one song, another folder you kept another song, in another folder you kept another song. Then at each time you select one time. So what is that technique called as? We called it as a random. All together you open one movie and it contains 6 songs. You select all the 6 songs and play one after the other. Then what is that technique called? That technique we are going to call it as a sequential access. So now you got the differences here. So now we identify for uniqueness the tuples with the row IDs, and similarly we identify the column names with the keys. So this key, what we call here as a indexing. So using keys to uniquely operate, to uniquely give a search mechanism for speed access, we are going to have this word as an index. Now, along with this, we do have some chunk where it is going to talk about buffer management, where it is going to talk about buffer management. As far as buffer management is going to be concerned, it is organized in the main memory. It is organized in the main memory. That is the first thing. So we first operate on main memory, then we are going to update it in the storage. So this is step 1 and step 2. So in step 1, we are going to operate it in the main memory, that is but the random access. Then we are going to update into the storage, that it can be a C drive or a D drive or a E drive or a F drive or a cloud, whatever it is. So buffer management, it is purely working with the main memory storage. So wherever disk blocks are there, they are going to be temporarily made a read operation or temporarily write operation, and then we are going to move it to the database so that it comes to a commit operation to make it as a permanent storage way. So that is how the buffer manager, it is going to stage the pages from the external storage to the main memory or a vice versa, where it is called as a buffer full. So there we do have the files, and there we are going to give up the indexing mechanism at that place. Okay. Now, how are these file organizations managed? So file organizations, they are going to be managed, one in form of heap, another it is going to be in form of index, and third one it is going to be in form of a sorted files. Third one, it is going to be in form of a sorted files. When it is going to be in a sorted file, then we are going to call it as a sequential access. It is going to be called as a sequential access. When we are going to work with a heap, then it is going to be called as a direct access, or we are going to call this item as a random access. Third thing, index, we are going to use the data attributes, and we make a search with keys. We make a search with keys. That is, it can be a primary key, etc. So why we are going to use this? Because for fast access of data. In order to have fast access of data, we are going to work with the indexing. So first technique, which is some heap organization. 2, we are going to call it as an index organization. 3, we are going to call it as a sorted file organization. In sorted file organization, mechanism will be so simple, where it is going to be in a linear organization, where it is going to be part as a linear organization, and here the searching is going to be called as linear search. Here the searching it is going to be called here as a binary search, and as far as an heap is going to be concerned, the item here you are going to call it as a linear search organization. So record by record we search up where we get it as a heap. So now, how is this heap organized? How is this heap organized? So when we are going to call up with a heap, they are going to access access the file scan, that it is going to retrieve all the records. But when we are going to convert this to a heap, it is organized in form of buckets. it is going to be organized in form of a buckets. So assume you are working with a heap sort algorithm. You had a data structures orientation where you studied about heap organization. So in heap organization, we make 0 bucket, 1 bucket, 2, 3. In this way, we are going to arrange the disk blocks. We arrange the disk blocks here. So 9. So in this way, we are arranging the disk block. Assume 565 came here. Now she is moved to this junk. So we call this as bucket number, and this is just a serial number. Okay. So if it is a case, then we get it as 565. Assume 573, assume 673 came. So now the 6 is going to be represented to the bucket. So now we will push her as 673. And similarly, assume 582 came. So now again the bucket was 2, so she will be moved here as 582. In this way, assume some 201 came. Now you are going to say 2 is going to be called as a bucket, and there you are pushing her to this, we call it as 201. So heap, it is going to organize the things into buckets. So 0 bucket, 1 bucket, 2 bucket. So based upon that, we are moving the items according to the buckets, where we call here as a heap organization. In heap organization, we are linearly searching the content one after the other. So here the things are not organized, but only the buckets are going to be organized at this case. So we talked about heap organization, and that one we call this heap. It is going to be in a random way to organize the data. Next one, we talked the file. They are going to be with over a range. That too, they are going to be in ascending order, or they are going to be in a descending order. And third way was we are using a data structure, and that data structure, they can be maintained with hashing technique, they can be maintained with a tree technique. So they are going to be following a mechanism with the search keys. They are going to be organized or traversed using a search key here. So next comes the word called as a index. Next comes the word called as an index. So why we are needing an index? An index is a file that it is going to speed up the selections on the search key fields for a index. So where are these search key fields located? The search key fields, they are going to be part of the subset. They are going to be part of the subset of the relation. So assume there is a relation here. In relation, we are going to have customer ID, customer name, then we have his money, then assume we have his mobile, we can call it as a balance here. Then we have a mobile here. Then we are going to have his blood group. So now relation, we call it as a customer. Relation, we call here as a customer here. Now whenever an index is there, that it is going to be the subset of relation. That means it can be a CID, it can be a CNAME, it can be balance, it can be mobile, it can be a blood group of a customer. So for speed access, for speed access, we are going to use unique keys. We are going to use up the unique key. So what will be the unique key? So unique key, it can be either a customer ID or it can be a mobile. So now customer ID, we are assuming it as a primary key, and mobile, it is called as a secondary key, or we are going to call this item as a candidate key. So how we can search? So now we can search the things with primary key. So this primary key is nothing but we are going to call it as index. We are going to call those items as a search key here, and that search key, it is going to be called as a index. So an index, it is going to have a collection of data entries. So what are the data entries? Data entries can be CID, data entries can be CNAME, data entries can be balance, data entries can be mobile, data entries can be blood group. Anything can be a data entries. So this data entries, so we are going to have a file, or we are going to have a database that we call it as a customer here. Then we created customer ID, then we made a customer name, then we call it as a balance, then we had his mobile, and we had his blood group. So these are the items. Now here we need to have K, and we need to define K star. Now we need to define K, and we need to define K star. So what is K and what is K star? So given a data entries of K star, we need to find the record with the K. So now we are going to have the items. So all these items we are going to call it as a set. So set items we are representing. So given the data entry, we are going to have a retrieval of data entries. So now we have customer ID, customer name, balance, mobile. So customer ID 10, 11, 12, 13. So in this way we are going to have the customer IDs. So they are going to support the retrieval of customer ID entries. So now all these items we are going to call it as K star. So from this K star, this is all data entries. From this data entries, we need to pick up K, that we are going to get an index that is happened with row ID. So that is identifying the uniqueness. It is going to give up the uniqueness values here. So it is going to give up a unique values here. So given a data item K star, which we can find the records with K as key, that is at most with one disk or an IO. So now we talked about K and K star. Now let us look into the first type of organization where data is going to impose. So first type, we are going to have B plus tree organization. The very first way how a database is going to be organized, how a database is going to retrieve the record, that we are going to call it as a B plus tree index. So we have two elements. One we are going to call it as non-leaf elements. Another we are going to have the leaf elements. In leaf elements, we are going to have data entries. In non-leaf entries, we are going to have index entries. So in non-leaf elements, we are going to have index entries. In leaf entries, we are going to have the data entries. So that was the key takeaway we need to understand. Next one, you can see here there was a chain of linking between data entries. There was a chain of linking between data entries. So they can move either to previous or they can move to the next. They can either move to the previous value, nor they are going to move to the next value. Next comes the non-leaf pages. So non-leaf page, they do have a root, and then they are going to have the intermediate nodes, and then they are going to be pushed to the leaf node value here. So we get an index entry that we are going to have key value pair, that we are going to have a key value pairs here. So K1, K2 with some values index P1, P2 up to etc. So we have a key value and we have a pair. So key followed by data item. So key followed by data item, it is going to be made up of a pair here. So we talked about the B plus tree organization. In B plus tree organization, we are going to have non-leaf nodes, and non-leaf nodes, they can be root and followed by intermediate node. So at this point, we are going to save the index. Next comes up the data nodes. These are going to be called as leaf nodes, or we are going to call them as a data nodes. So these items, they are interconnected with one another. These items, they are interconnected with one another, and they can move to either previous or they can move to either next. So that is how a B plus tree is going to be organized. So why we are going to use B plus tree? Because we have to search with indexing, and that search with indexing will have fast access to data retrieval. In order to have fast access to the data retrieval, now we are going to organize the B plus tree model. Now, how is this B plus tree organized? How is this B plus tree organized? Assume the root is going to have a 17. The items which are less than 17 will move towards the left side, and the items which are greater than 17, they are moving towards the right side of the node. We assume we are going to have the root node. In root node, there are different entries. Assume there is going to be a 17 as an entry. The item which is less than 17, they are going to be kept posted towards the left hand side, and the items which are going to be greater than 17, they are pointed out towards the right side item. Now we do have these items called as 5, 5, 13, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 14. So all these items, now you can assume that they are going to be less than 17 here. But here the nodes, they are going to be connected with one another. The nodes, they are going to be connected with one another. So they are going to be connected with one another. So that is where you can see the items, this part we call it as data items, and these are called as leaf nodes. And the other what we are going to ping up, these are root node and intermediate node. They are going to work as indexing, and we call them as non-leaf nodes. They are going to be called as non-leaf nodes. So what operations we can make up on a B plus tree? We can make up either an insert operation or a delete operation for each data entry. Now, can we find 28? Yes. Can we find 29? Yes. And whether they are greater than 27? Yeah. And whether they are less than 37? Yeah. So at this position, now you can fix up either 28 or 29. So in this way, we are going to work out with the B plus tree organization. So second way of organizing, we were talking about hash based indexing. The second way of indexing, the very first way, so we were talking about um, the way we were talking about, it is going to be with the previous, we called it as B plus tree indexing here. So first one, we were writing about B plus tree. This is item number 1. The second way was with hashing. The second way was hashing. Why we need B plus tree or why we need hashing? To do indexing. To do indexing. Why we need indexing? For speed retrieval of data, and we need to have a search with a key. In order to search with a key, in order to have speed retrieval of data, now we are going to adopt either a B tree or we are going to adapt a hashing technique here. So how is this hashing technique included? Hashing technique they are going to use for equality selections. So they are going to be taken up with equality selections. So in this equality selections, there is an index which it is going to collect up with some buckets. So we were mentioning earlier, so as in the form of a heap, that is we called here as bucket 0 to bucket 1, and in this way up to we call it as buckets here. So these buckets they are going to mention it as the primary pages. They are going to be mentioned here as primary pages, and if there is a overflow here, then what they are going to do, then they are moving to the next bucket in the order. If there is a overflow, then they contain the data entries and they are moving up to the next. So how they are going to moving up to the next? So we make a chain, then in this way it will go. So I can write it here, bucket 3, then 3 1, 3 2, then it is going to end up. So 3 we are going to call it as primary page, 3 1, 3 2, 3 0 we are going to call it as overflow pages. So we are going to create a chain, we are going to create a link to each bucket when there was a overflow, and we are extending it. So that is how the relationship between bucketing, the relationship between overflow is going to happen. Next comes with the hash based function, where we are going to have h. H is going to stands for hashing, and R it is going to stand for record. So we call here as h of R. H it is with hashing technique, R it is going to be called it is for record. So why we need to search. So this h of R it is going to be called here as search for a key, that is called as a search key. Now, what are the different ways of looking up the entries in the hash? So now we were talking about hashing, and in this hashing we need to have entries. We need to have entries. So one entry it is going to be with search key. So search key, as we mentioned here, it is with primary overflow and it is represented with h of R. So now we are going to get the data entries as k star, and search key we are going to mention it with key item. That is step 1. Step 2, what we are going to pose up? Step 2 we are going to pose up with the keys, with the key and record IDs, and we are going to call it as row ID, or we can call it as row ID. So every row is going to be unique. So every row is unique pointed. Every row is going to be uniquely pointed out here, is uniquely pointed out. So each row has a pointer. Each row it is going to have a pointer which it is going to call it as row ID comma k. Now what is the third way? The third way was to maintain key, that is k, and followed by list of row IDs, followed by list of row IDs. So here we are going to have only one row ID, but this time we are going to have list of row IDs. So that is the chain what we need to understand. So how we are going to search in hashing? We can search with a key, that is option number 1. 2, we can search with a key followed by record ID, that is option number 2. And what is option number 3? We are going to mention it with a list of row IDs here. So in this way we are going to mingle up with three techniques: 1 the data record, 2 with the row ID of the data, and 3 list of row IDs of the data. So all the data entries we call it as K here, and K we are going to call here as a search key index, and key we are going to give it as data entries. We are going to call it as data entries here, and every row ID is going to be unique in database. It is going to be a unique value in a database, and with that we can do either binary tree or we can build up the hash based techniques. Either we can work out with the binary tree or we can build out with the hash based techniques. Next comes, so we will just have a recap of what we have done for today. So in today's class, we were talking about storage structures and indexing. So storage structures, we were talking about magnetic tapes, where it is going to provide sequential access. Then we talked about magnetic disk. So magnetic disk, it is going to provide the direct access. So this was the first key takeaway what we need to understand. So the first key takeaway what we were talking was, 1, it is going to be a storage structure. So magnetic tape, it is supporting the sequential access. And second was storage structure, it is going to support the magnetic disk. This we are going to call it as direct, or we are going to call it as random access. So we will store the database either in a sequential mode or it can be in a random. Next we need to have indexing. Why we need to have an indexing? In order to have speed search. In order to have speed search, we need to get indexing. So how is this indexing done? It is going to be done with keys, or it is going to be done with key and pairs. So in either of a technique, we are going to give up a indexing, and this indexing, it is going to point out unique values. It should be unique, or it is going to be so distinct. That is the reason why we are going to use these items. So now disks, they are going to support the random access, tapes, they are going to support the sequential access, and every database does have a record. So we say it is file followed by record, record followed by fields. So now if this is student ID, student name and marks here, now I'm going to have 565 and 566 here. So 565 is one row ID, 566 is one row ID, which it is going to be unique, or they are going to be distinct, and they are going to have by a word called as a pointer. Student ID, student name, marks, these are called as an attributes here. So now we get this row IDs. Now these are going to be called as K star. Then we need to compute key, which it is going to be pointed out with the attributes. So we talked about records, then we talked about indexes. So from here onwards, we will be getting the index item. We will be getting the index item. So after this, we went with the three types of organizations. One, we call it as heap organization. Two, we call it as a sequential or a sorted organization. And the third way was to put an index with the search keys. So why we are going to have for faster access. So as far as heap is going to be concerned, it is going to be in a linear model. So one after the other, we are going to search up. So now we talked about an index that it is going to give a speed access, and it is going to have some fields, and unique, we are going to apply it with a primary key, and secondary key, etc. They are going to work with the candidate key. So there we are going to have the key items, etc. So the data items, they are pointed out at K star, and key value, they are going to be pointed out with K. So in B plus tree organization, we have the first part, we call it as non-leaf nodes. Non-leaf nodes, these are with root and these are with intermediate, and root and intermediate, we call it as non-leaf nodes, and they point out the indexes. Whereas the leaf node, they are pointing out to the data entries, and these data entries, they are interconnected with each other. And next comes the way with 17, less than 17 and greater than 17, they are working with a condition as a for the storage in a indexing in the B plus tree. Next one, the way of indexing will be a hash based content, where in this hash based contents we are figuring out with the buckets. So bucket 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So assume it is 565, it will be moved into bucket number 5. Whether it is 223, then it is moved into the bucket called as 2. Whether it is 431, then it is moved into a bucket called as 3. So the first items we call here as primary page, and if there is some extension, we call it as overflow, and what the end we are going to bring up to the end of a file. We are going to get it as overflow, and then it is leading to the end of a file. The third way was to things with a hashing h of r. R, it is going to be with some records, and hash, h stands for hash. It is going to bring up the index entries. They are going to bring up the index entries. Next comes the word how we are going to get the index. One, it is only the data record with K. Two, it is set of K and record IDs. And three, it is going to be with the single record. First one is just a data entry with K index, and second one with row IDs, and third comes with the list of row IDs. So up to here, we talked in this session. In the next class, we will be talking about classification of these indexes, in clustering of indexes, etc. So that is all for today.